Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yasharakatham. Yahweh Shemal Thum Shem Yashai. This is Priest and Officer Quariah Allah out of ISUPK. This is ISUPK Connecticut. Out at under Commanding General Yohana. ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. We started out since 1969 out of Harlem, New York. And today to this day, we are worldwide throughout the four corners of this earth and still growing. We are only here for the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, the Lord's chosen people. If you're not a part of the 12 tribes, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, this really don't have nothing to do with you. But today's topic, we're going to go into the so-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians on us as a people needing to learn how to truly love each other according to the scriptures, according to the Bible. That's something that we as a people was not completely taught. It was in us. A lot of us instilled a lot of certain ways, but the complete true love of the Bible and how the Bible tells us to deal with each other, a lot of us don't do. A lot of us act like what happened the other day with the Will Smith Chris Rock incident at the Oscars Award, excuse me. Now, I'm going to touch on that in a minute, but what happened there is a clear sign of what goes on throughout our community. A lot of that stemmed from traumas within our childhood, being raised up by women, young men, and being abused as children, whether it's physically or mentally. To break down one's self-esteem, a lot of times when people have self-esteem issues, it starts from childhood. It starts from being constantly teased about maybe imperfection or a physical appearance or something that, that have made, as as a child, something that have traumatized you, excuse me. Now, a lot of these things go on in our community because that's just how a lot of our people, a lot of us was raised that way, and it's a cycle. Constantly screaming, constantly hitting, being hit on, and these are a lot of things that, although a lot of us deserved a lot of good ass whippings, as kids, it's to the extent, some got extremely more ass whippings. Some have gotten no ass whippings that needed ass whippings. But today, we're going to go into scriptures on true love, because true love is brotherhood and sisterhood. And what happened at the Oscars, it was all the way across the board wrong. It was all the way across the board wrong, because Will Smith to go up in front of our oppressors venue event and to another black man just smack smack, not even punch him, smack him like how a female would get smacked, and to walk off and to shout across the room, just carrying on. That, that was a sucker move. You know, Will Smith. That just displayed how America have always viewed him as soft and as being a sucker. Chris Rock, he was a sucker too because he should have displayed a level of manhood and to defend himself. What Chris Rock did was very Christian. You know, understand that if somebody is violating you, put their hands on you, you are supposed to hit them back. Chris Rock didn't do that. Chris Rock stood there and took it. He sat there and took it and apologized afterwards. And Will Smith felt like he did the manly thing to another brother that he knew was, if not on the same level of being weak, but just as weak as him. And then he did all this for a whore, for a slut. He did this for a child molester. His wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, which is a child molester, which is the same, which is a female version of what R. Kelly was being locked up for. When you sit back and think about it, but she's roaming around here. That evil witch. And because she didn't like that joke that Chris Rock did, Will Smith felt like the manly thing to do was to go up there and to chump a cat that he knew was weak, or he felt was weak. That was a sucker move. That was unbrotherly. That was a coward move. And then you did it in front of our oppressors. Now, sidebar for a second, and I'm gonna get back into the class pertaining to that incident. A few years back, the same wife, the same whore that he married, Will Smith, was trying to boycott that same event, that same award show, because she felt like they was being unfair to black people, right? Because Will didn't win, the judges, however that goes, I really don't follow them things like that, but she was upset and she felt like black people wasn't getting a fair, or minorities wasn't getting a fair shot at winning an award at that event, which quite frankly, I don't know why, but I mean, I know why, but that's just the mentality of a slave wanting to be accepted by their oppressor, Stockholm syndrome. But anyway, that same event, a few years later, your husband showed his ass at this event. And not only showed his ass, but gave our oppressors justified why they don't want any Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians in the venue. He just displayed why. This is why. If they was even considering, which I doubt it, of having more and more Black people in there because the Black Lives Matter movement or whatever, well, she got to thank her husband for, doing that, showing his tail. Again, the same husband that had his son's friend, August Alsina, sleeping with his wife in his room in his bed. It's lucky for the verbiage, but piping her down to the point where they was caught up in some affair, whatever, and entanglement, excuse me. And he made a song. I'm not sure if it's a whole album or a song. I know it's definitely a song he made about her. Now, I think he stepped to that young boy like that. You had a whole bunch of other people talking about his wife, talking about her whorish ways and what she did, how she dealt with her, how she played him. Even made this even softer than what people already thought he was. On national TV, had him crying like a little girl. Now, to bring more content to my topic today, you know, he violated Chris Rock in in front of the whole world that watched it, and everybody done watched it, even brothers and sisters like myself that saw it on social media, watched what happened to Chris Rock. You did all that again for a whore, for a wife that sits there and sleeps with every young up and coming artist or anybody that she has any young guy, young stud that you know that she feels to make her feel young again, I guess, whatever her reasons is. But he did all this for her. The same woman that brought him to shame, that brought his character down, that emasculated him in front of the whole world, showed this man no love. But you know why that happened was because he didn't know how to correct her. If he corrected her according to these scriptures, she would have been in line or she would have left. It would have been one or the other. This is Will Smith. He didn't even realize the ball was in his court. But because he was so weak of a man, he was so weak as of a man that he didn't know how to do it. He wasn't taught. He didn't know. He wasn't shown. In his eyes, he felt money could solve everything. But quite frankly, money wasn't doing anything. It clearly shows even all the money in the world. You can have all the good, the money. If you don't have, if you don't stand up as a man, if you don't have that lion spirit, that wolf spirit, that dominant alpha spirit as a man, to hold your own as a man, you're going to be a will. That's the new name for suckers. Will. You're a will. Simp. You're a Will Smith. That's gonna be the new. That's gonna be the new name for sucker. Will Smith. Why I say that is because that was very unbrotherly. That was very unbrotherly what he did to another black man on stage in front of the whole world. He felt he needed to flex on a man he saw or he felt was weaker than him. I mean, I'm going to some scriptures because I could talk about this all night, and we're not going to make it all about them. But what I will talk about is that the behavior that went on of our men, and there's a lot of Wills out there, a lot of Will Smiths out there that know how to provide financially, but spiritually don't know how to get their woman in check. They don't know how to display true love, not only to the women, but to their brothers. They don't know brotherhood. A lot of our men don't know how to display brotherhood or to be brotherly. A lot of our people don't know how to love our people. But if you want to know how to love your people, I should become the commanding general Yohana. We display true brotherhood, true sisterhood. You look at all the events that we have, and all you see is hundreds and hundreds of Black, Hispanic, Native Indians, men and women getting along, socializing, having a ball, having a blast, a good time. And guess what? And no fights break out. Nothing. Why? Because we display true brotherhood, true sisterhood. If there's any issues, it gets dealt with right then and there. Because we learn to live and to deal with each other according to the Most High, according to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Now, a lot of these entertainers, when they sit there, they get their award, they always mention God, God. I want to thank God and everything. Well, understand, they're not praising the Most High. They're praising Caesar Borgia. That's their God. Because you want to know why? If they was about the God of the Israelites, their God, they would deal with each other according to how the scriptures tell you to deal with each other. Now I'm going to 1 John 4 and 20. And it goes, okay, it says, if a man say, I love the Most High and hate his brother, he's a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he had seen, how can he love? How can he love the Most High whom he had not seen? Now understand, when these speeches are given, he crying to God, God and praising God and everything, and you know, for the love of God and everything. Understand that he never, we've never seen God. We see what he display. We see his powers, and what he's capable of doing. But we have not physically seen the Most High in his entirety, right? Face to face. But now, here it is, and I'm going to use Will Smith and Chris Rock incident. If Will Smith had love for his brother, if he had love for Chris Rock, he would have pulled him to the side. He would have talked to him. He'd have been like, look, I didn't appreciate what you said. My wife was a little on edge. Yo, you know, yo, do me a favor, tone it down. However, man to man, right? You'd have pulled him to the side. But he went there. Now, I don't know if y'all noticed, y'all peeped the video, but Chris Rock leaned forward like he thought he was going to whisper in his ear, like, yo, whatever. And he co-clocked him. Boom. Slapped him. And then walked off, didn't even look back. Now, what kind of love he had for his brother? See him go up on it, yo, thank God, I want to thank God, yo, my family and love and God. Without God, okay, you love God, but you've never seen him. And this is what the scripture is talking about. The Most High saying you're a liar. You don't love me. Because if you love me, you would love your brothers. You love your sisters. You know? He got the loving the sisters right because he done forgave his wife tremendously. And the scriptures tell you that adultery is a sin. Yeah, Will was not from the second he found out his wife cheated on him, and let's go further back. It was probably way before Tupac, but let's go back to Tupac. Tupac was banging her out. Excuse my French. And Will Smith still took her in, dealt with her, and the whole nine. August Alsina saying just recently, about a year or two ago, he's still dealing with her. He's forgiven her through everything. Here it is, your fellow comedian, your fellow entertainer, veteran at that. You was that mad where you forgave your brother because he was doing his job. He was going around the rooms doing what he do, snapping on everybody. Little piece of advice. If you know a comedian is up on stage performing and he's going around the room, they're going to go around the room snapping on each other. You might want to sit back and don't sit straight up in the front because the front is when everybody gets it. If anybody been to a comedy show, they'll know. You sitting in the front, they're going to get at you, especially if you look way out of the ordinary. They're going to find something to snap on you. Chris Rock did what he did. Will Smith was laughing. He turned around, and because his wife wasn't happy with the joke, he goes up there and he shows his ass. Now, the sad thing about it is both of their careers, it depends on how that goes. You know what I mean? As far as with Will Smith, Because for them to allow Will Smith to keep going on, you know, at the award and give a speech and everything, they obviously gave him a pass. That's how I look at it, unless it's something else. But understand that nobody's speaking on that. Like Will Smith got mental issues and all that. A prime example. If that was Kanye West, they'd have threw him under the bus. Kanye West, they would have threw him under the bus. He has a bunch of mental issues that'll spin off because of this. He's mentally ill. They would have threw Kanye under the bus. Will Smith got up and gave a half-ass speech and still didn't apologize to his brother that he just offended and humiliated because his brother was doing his job as a comedian and snapping on everybody. FY, Will, what do you think he was up there for? To liven up the show, to bring humor, to do what he do best. I don't want to go too much on about them, but I'm going to use them and how they dealt with one another because this seems to plague our people. Because when you can sit there in the hood and shoot your brother like it's nothing, make whores of your sisters like it's nothing, sell drugs to your peoples like it's nothing. When you can sit there and molest your young brothers and sisters like it's nothing. When you can rob and steal because your brothers and sisters are easier targets and because you know that this society don't give a damn about our people, that's a problem. That's a big problem. That's why it's our job, ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, to wake our people up and let our people know that route is not the way to go. We are supposed to be coming together and building this nation, given that World War III is going on, right? Giving that there's a war going on outside and everybody's caught up with this distraction of Will Smith and Chris Rock getting smacked at an award show that, quite frankly, they should have probably never even been at because both of them are pretty wealthy. Why don't they start their own Oscars and accomplishments? Why don't they start their own award show and don't go to any of these shows right here? Because quite frankly, there's more Black and Hispanic entertainers out there, actors, actresses, athletes, you name it, right? More than our oppressors. So you know what happens when you start your own award shows, when you sit there and you embrace your people? Because understand that we have a lot of millionaires, Black and Hispanic millionaires and Native Indians, right? We have a lot of them here. So there's no reason. Award show is nothing. You book a venue, and you get a bunch of. I'm not sure if it's really gold, but whatever it is, whether it's spray painted metal, whatever it is, make some awards and give it out to the brothers and sisters that truly deserve these awards because that is a job that they're doing. They're entertaining us, and they should be rewarded for their hard work, time, and effort into doing what they're doing to have a sense of accomplishment and appreciation. I mean, quite frankly, them checks that they're getting is enough appreciation. I mean, them awards really is just I don't know, but shit, just give me the paycheck and I'm good. Give me the paycheck, my morals, my dignity, and I'm good. But since they need an award show, I mean, you should make your own award. Hell, get a win, rack up, make a rack of everything you did, and hey, this is the me award. Really don't mean nothing because this day and age, what the hell's an award gonna do? You did this show, you know, you did this movie, great, good job. You got compensated. You got a big ass check. What more do you need? You know, to be told that the movie was a hit or whatever. Yeah, yeah. You know, I mean, me, quite frankly, if I was in that industry, that was it wouldn't mean nothing to me. As long as my money's right, I'm good. I don't know. I guess being that rich, you still look for validation from other things. I guess I don't know. I thought if you was to do a movie and it was a big box office hit, that's validation already. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a priest and prophet of the Lord. I'm a soldier in the ISUPK, a priest and officer out of ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana that through adversity have stuck together to help create, to help build this nation and still building. Blood, sweat, and tears. Because you know what? The men in the ISUPK, if we have an ought with a brother, scriptures tell you, if you have an ought with your brother, go to him and him alone. Matter of fact, hold on, let me get that scripture. That is Matthew 18 and 15. Okay, hold on. Bear me 1 second. Okay, Matthew's 18 and this is our King, our brother, our Savior, Yahushua Mashiach, which we all know is Christ, right? Verse 15, it goes more. Hold up. Yeah, let's start. Let's go to 15. It says, moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. The other day at the Oscars award, Will Smith felt like Chris Rock trespassed against him. So when he walked up to him, yeah, he walked up to him. I mean, whether it was going on or whatever, he walked up to him. He went to him and him alone. The only problem is he made a spectacle out of both of them, himself and Chris Rock. But he was supposed to go to him and him alone. I'm gonna finish read. And if he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. Now, if he went, pulled Chris Rock to the back and been like, look, you offended me, my wife, my family, like, come on, don't do that. And Chris Rock would have been like, all right, I won't do that. My apologies. He gained a brother. He would have respected him, right? He said, but if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of two or three witnesses, every word may be established. Now, after that incident, I believe it was Tyler Perry and Denzel Washington went and spoke to Will Smith, right? Now, had they been given the right counsel, I don't know what was said, but it clearly wasn't according to these scriptures, because if what was said would have went through, they would have went and been like, look, address the brother, make amends, and if not, then you gotta go to the higher ups. But who would you go to? Because you have to be going to our oppressor. But see, if they came and got counsel by Commanding General Yohana or General Muhammad, one of the generals or something, then they would have got the proper judgment, the proper call, the proper counsel, right? What did Will Smith do even after he offended his brother? He got up, gave a speech, and did not apologize to Chris Rock, his fellow comedian, fellow brother, He didn't even apologize. He apologized to everybody there except the one he assaulted. And then, sidebar for a second, to make matters worse, I'm man, it was just disgusting. It was just Chris Rock. I mean, as a man, he should have co-clocked. He should have clocked Will Smith. He should have defended himself because he was violated. He should have defended himself. Let it be known that no man or no woman should be putting their hands on you. If anybody put their hands on you, your job is to hit back. You don't sit there and just get smacked like a child, like a chick, especially a man. Anybody pick their hand up on you, it should be a quick reaction. Boom. I don't care. The man came up there. Now he should have been prepared to expect whatever, because he walked up there after he just snapped on his wife. Now, to sit there and have thought that it was going to be a conversation and a thing, I could see where that could happen. But he should have still been on alert. But I get it. Chris Rock's not built like that. Chris Rock's not built like that. But also understand, Will Smith knew if it was somebody else, somebody that would a coward would know who he could do shit like that to. And Will Smith knew that. Chris Rock was the prime candidate for him to try to build back up his masculinity. Understand, your wife done took that from you. Your wife done showed who wears the pants and who wears the skirt in the relationship. And to take your frustration and anger out on Chris Rock was just a straight sucker move. Straight coward move. And the reason why I'm getting on him for that is because he showed no love for his brother. There was no love whatsoever. You hear a lot of people, I've seen on social media, people talking about, oh, that's how you stick up for your queen. The question is, first of all, if you Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, you don't address any woman as a queen. For one, we are prince and princesses of the power. We are of royalty. Our women are not queens. That's a Europeanish. That's a European. You know, that's our oppressors, ranking and order, however you want to call it. We don't label ourselves queens. But I've seen comments. Oh, that's just how you defend. What was he defending? What was the threat of Chris Rock that's snapping on everybody? It was none. It was none. So again, I'm gonna go over that again. Matthews 18 and 15. It says, moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. And if he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. Now, they could have put all this in the pad if he had put them to the side and handled it and just told them, just chill out. Now, if he kept going on and going on, then he had every reason to, not to handle it like that, but to step to him, because now he asked him, and whatever agreement they did, and he still went against, you know. So then that becomes sticky. But the righteous way would to receive counsel, bring witnesses to show that he did that anything. Well, he did try to diffuse the situation, but Chris Rock kept going. Then he would have been justified in whatever would have came down on Chris Rock. Now, let me get 13. Just bear me 1 second. Okay, I'm going to John 13 and 34. Start at verse 34. And this is Yahushua talking. He's saying, a new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. Right? Understand that as a Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, we have to love one another. We can't roll around with a chip on our shoulders, having hate for one another. We have to seriously Hold on a second. We have to seriously put a lot of our differences to the side, because when you look at a lot of the beefs that we have, it's simple things. A lot of our people like to hold grudges. Now, for to to sit there and have a grudge against your brother, nah. That's why scriptures tell you to go to him and him alone. But you gotta have love for one another. Having love for one another is, if a brother offend you, go to him and him alone. Don't hold it in and let it build up and then lash out. If your brother's going off, correct him. Sister going off, correct her. If your wife, and so forth, your children, correction is true love. Not correcting is hatred. So if you sitting here and your wife is going off and she's just going, and you don't correct her, that's because you really don't care for her. You really despise her. You really could care less on how she looked. Either that or you just plain soft. You're a simp. You're a sucker. You're a Will Smith. So I'm going to read that again. 13 and 34. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have loved one another, one to another. Understand, this is how you know Christian church ain't teaching our people shit. Excuse my French. Christian church hates our people, the Lord's chosen people. Christian church don't have nothing for us. Islam have nothing for us. That's dealing with another nation's belief. Islam's not for blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians. That's for the Arabic people over there. Christianity is not for us. Christianity helps to keep us enslaved. These scriptures are for us, though. The King James Version, 1611. Not no new international Gideon and so forth. All them watered down Bibles in the Christian church is not for us. Those are slave Bibles. Those are Bibles that are contoured for one's lust, fleshly lust, for smoking weed, for being a homosexual, that lust for being a pedophile, a child molester, a rapist, a robber, a drug dealer. That's Christianity for you. Christianity allows those people that are sinning to continue sinning and living that way, and letting them have somewhat of a conscience every Sunday. And then from Monday back all the way down until even Sunday, they can still keep doing what they're doing. All they got to do is just come, sing a couple songs, dance, eat all that abominational food, pork, shrimp, crab, lobsters after church, and then go through the rest of the week sinning again 24/7, 365. But in the ISUPK, the Commanding General Yohana, we don't do these things. Not at all. We follow these scriptures to in its entirety. We celebrate the high holy days, like Passover that's coming up April 15th in Cocoa Beach, Florida this year. Yo, it just every Passover it gets better and better. Understand that this year is gonna be off the hook. If you're Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, come check us out. April 15th in Cocoa Beach, Florida. Go on the website and get all the information out there. All is welcome if you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. And don't bring any friends, any husbands, anybody that's of another nationality. Keep them home. Don't bring them. Now to get back, and that's true love right there. That's brotherhood. That's sisterhood. Because we following these laws, statutes, and commandments like we supposed to. We're doing what the Lord told us to do. Now I'm gonna drop that. I'm gonna go into a couple more scriptures. Let's see. Spare me 1 second. Okay. Luke 6:31. This is Yahushua Mashiach talking. It's in red. It says, and as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. So, for if ye love them which love you, what thanks have ye? For sinners also love those that love them. And if ye do good to them which do good to you, what thanks have ye? For sinners also do even the same. Understand that Will Smith, it's a lot of egos, it's a lot of issues going on with our people. I don't care if you're a millionaire. I don't care if you are a A-list, B-list, whether athlete, a different tier level entertainer. If you have issues, you have issues. If you have a problem, you have so many, like, and yeah, this is why our people, it goes to show you money is just a defense. The scriptures tell you. Money cannot change your personality, your character. Money, the love of money is the root of all evil. And it's real. Because you hear of people being millionaires and committing suicide. And the reason for that is because they've never dealt with whatever issues they've had in the past. They've never dealt with it. So what they do is they just they're able to hide behind whatever issues they have because now they're rich. So now being rich would allow them to buy things that can distract them. Cars, homes, clothes, shopping. So to hide behind the pain, they hide behind spending, living it up, traveling. You can go to all four corners of the earth, but understand that we still have the curses on us. We still in hell. When you go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, them curses are still on us. Wherever you go, wherever you go, them curses is with us. So to sit to sit there and think that you want to live the American dream, quote unquote, the American dream, this is not our time. This is not our kingdom. What if you're Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian? What you would want to do, what we would want to do, is get our spirit right, our mind right, build back up our character, start self-reflecting, start being honest with ourselves, start becoming more mindful of one another. Stop just thinking about stop. A lot of our people are narcissistic. They're full of themselves. They into themselves. Everything's about them. Everything's not about you. Everything is not about you individually. Being a priest and prophet of the Lord, it's not about us. It's not about me. It's about us serving our people. We're here for you. IGPK under Commanding General Yohana. Commanding General Yohana is here to serve every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian that are sitting there in the slums, in the ghettos, in the barrios, all over the four corners of this earth. Everybody that this kingdom, that our oppressor, this Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, that have turned their backs on our people. This is what we're here for. These scriptures are here for us. Everybody that's been traumatized, that have been abused physically, mentally, spirit's been broken down. Everybody that have messed up and have not been given a second chance. A lot of our brothers and sisters that's on lockdown. We're here for you. We're here to bring you back to the Lord. You want to know why? Because while this society, this government don't give a damn about the Lord's chosen people, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, we do. The Lord do. The Most High soldiers do. We care about our people. We care about that family eating out of a garbage can. We care about that family that needs clothes on their back, that is hungry, that is cold, that needs some kind of shelter. We care about them. Commanding General Yohana does everything in his power to help the ones that society have forgotten about, that don't give a damn about, that won't give a second chance, because we all we got. Contrary to what a lot of us may think, we believe, this government, this society, this kingdom don't give a damn about the Lord's chosen people. This kingdom will let us, rot. You know? Hold on. Hold on. Understand that we're living in a kingdom, our oppressor's kingdom, that know who we are. All these other nations know who we are. You know who don't know who we are? We don't know who we are. The Lord tells you in Zephaniah 2 and 1, and I'm going to end it with this. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. It says, gather yourselves together. When you see the priests and prophets of the Lord, ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, out on the streets, on the internet, in clubs, wherever you see us. When you see us, we're fishing. We're waking up our people, the Lord's chosen people, because we have a job to do. We can be selfish and stay home and not deal with our people. But you know what? We don't do that because we got love for our people and because we took an oath. We took an oath to the Lord and understand that the Most High is gangster. You think these mafia, so-called mafia, these other heathens out here is gangster or whatever? They got the whole concept from the Most High, from these scriptures. The Most High is gangster because when he wants something, it's going to get done one way or another. And you know what? Now, it's up to the Most High's discretion whether he wants to have mercy on you or not. Nobody knows. Only the Lord knows. And he can do you dirty or he can have mercy. But understand that the Lord wants what he wants, and he wants his people to come back to him, his children to come back to him. We are the Lord's chosen. We are the Lord's children, chosen people. The Most High wants us back. And this is why we out here doing this. Because this is our job. Our job is to wake our people up, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, and bring them back to the Lord. And a big part of bringing our people back is displaying brotherhood, sisterhood, true love for our people, according to the Bible. Because again, I'm going to read this last scripture before I end it. Zephaniah 2 and 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. We are a nation that is not desired. We are a hated nation. With that, I'm going to end it. I'm Priest and Officer Kuraya Allah out of ISUPK, Connecticut. That's my time. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatham. Yahweh Shemal Thumb by Shem Yahshua.